Hello. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, so here goes. Today I'm looking at Hornby's Olton Hall. Now this is the railroad model, as you can see. Pretty standard box. So if I was to go back in time a little bit with this one, I bought this in 2015. And I know I got it cheap, so I thought I'd look up the actual original purchase price. As I figured I've still got the email somewhere. Shipped, this cost me, wait for it, £41.50. And that's for a complete DCC ready locomotive. So let's get it out of the box, I suppose. So yeah, you can tell I've had this a little while. The box is a little bit worn where I've had to take the Loco out. I store most of my Locos in the original boxes. Let's get rid of that. Let's get that out of the way. And let's have a quick look at the instruction book. So we have the Hall class steam locomotive and tender, DCC ready, DCC fitted and sound. This is of course the DCC ready version. So it goes through the oiling points, which I've done at some point, and how to fit the DCC chip. And it does also have a close coupling option there. So the DCC chip is sort of powered, I'd say, connected to the Loco through the 4-pin plug, and the chip is mounted in the tender. So let's just tuck that away for a bit. Yeah, there's just a little bit of extra information there on fitting the brake rods. That's not that interesting. So I'm looking at the Loco itself. So it's got this simplified lining, which is the hallmark really of the railroad range. It's permanently coupled to the tender. You can unscrew it, but it's like a permanent coupling. And so if we look at the lining has been simplified, but I think it's still a pretty good representation of the real Loco. So I'm just going to try and get this out of the box now, without dropping and breaking it, of course, like a glove. And so there we go, we have one Olton Hall, which is in the well, it's in the Hogwarts livery really, but the Loco does actually carry this livery, and it did carry the name Olton Hall and the red livery for quite some time. It's this Loco is now at the Warner Brothers Studios. It's on display as Hogwarts Castle, the hall that thinks it's a castle. So a couple of points to make really. I understand that the new version of Hogwarts Castle has a light there, but this of course doesn't, because it's to represent the actual Loco Olton Hall. So I'm just having a look at the underframe and everything. So it's got the NEM pockets, which I find that quite a lot. The actual hook is pretty poor quality. NEM pockets front and back. As I mentioned, it's got the permanent coupling between Loco and tender, but you can undo that and split them apart. And cab detail, if we can get a light in there, it's non-existent. You could obviously go in and paint it yourself and pick out all the detail, but there's been no paintwork actually put in that tender. In the tender? In the cab. Now the buffers are not sprung on all four corners. They are fixed, but they do seem to be the turned metal, so they're pretty good quality, and I think you could easily replace them if they got lost. The window does have glazing, as you can see here. The only minor issue I've had with this is this bracket for the speedo. It keeps on folding in. I think that's because of how it's in the box, and I will need to correct this before I run it because it fouls the valve gear. I think if the Loco was mounted in the other way, that wouldn't be such a problem, but yeah, the Loco sits on its right hand side, which is where it's hitting that speedo bracket. So other than that, I'd say for 40 quid this is a pretty fine locomotive. But what I'm going to do now is put down a loop of track and run it. Back in a moment. So I've got it down on the track. I've coupled it up to my short 3 carriage rake of Heart of Midlothian coaches, which will really annoy the GWR purists, but who cares? So I've DCC fitted this Loco, so let's just get it moving. At some point I programmed a slow acceleration rate, which I think I'm going to take out. Or not. I guess the pickups and the track need a bit of cleaning as well. So for a railroad model, it's still got what I'd call a premium chassis. It's very, very, very smooth. I'm going to try and bring it to a stop on the mark. I'm going to try and bring it to a stop on at the right bit, so let's just shift her forward very slowly. The crawl is pretty good, I've got to give that too, so and just stop it there. So let's see what the crawl is like. So I have this set at 128 speed steps. I can't remember what the chip is, so let's see. 1. I'm not expecting anything till a few steps in, so 1, we got nothing. 2, nope, 3, still nothing. This isn't unusual. 4, there we are. Now I think this is a 3-pole motor with a flywheel, so I kind of half expect a slight jerkiness when moving. Let's try it in reverse. So let's take her down to 0, put her in reverse, and step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. Still nothing at step 4. There we are, step 5, step 6. Yep, she's not so good in reverse. Yeah, this is let's try and give it a nudge. There we are. So that took till step 7 for it to actually start doing anything, and I think it stalled again. So just to conclude, really, what do I think of this model? I really like it. There's just that one little flaw I find with the packaging, and where it's pushing in the speedo and fouling some of the valve gear. But other than that, this is actually one of my better purchases, considering I paid £41.50 including the shipping. You can't really go wrong. That's for a fully equipped, DCC ready, modern railroad model. And delivery application is really quite good. So like the Great Western livery, the nameplate, that all comes up really, really well. So I'm not sure what price it is these days, if it's still obtainable. If I find it, I will pop it down in the corner somewhere. But yeah, if you see one at this price, go for it. Absolutely go for it. However, I've got the feeling that was a deal at the time. So but I think if you could get this for 70 or 80 quid or less, yeah, I'd recommend it. It looks good. The red livery is actually quite nice, and you can tell everyone it's just Hogwarts, but with the original name on it. But thanks for your time. It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, and I've got somewhat of a temporary ad hoc setup, so I have to use the easy track for the carpet running, which does actually help avoid the fluff being picked up. I don't have a problem with fluff in my Locos, so it seems to be doing the trick. So thank you very much for listening. I have a variety of things going on. I do also do some various exploring as well, but yeah, maybe we can get back to some of the trains. So don't forget to like and subscribe, comment if you like, and hopefully I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now. Let's see how well this works out. You have the unboxing video. We have a reboxing video. So this has got to go in. As I mentioned, this speedo is a little bit problematic. Maybe when I get around to it, actually I'll cut a section out, but I shall carefully pop that into there. That front coupling's a bit of a pain actually, but that's nice and secure. Plastic bit on the top, into the box. That's that bit done. Manual. I think most of the manuals are actually available online. So we tuck that in there like that. Tap it a few times so it falls down a little bit. And back in the rather ordinary Hornby Railroad box. Bye.